If you're tired of being taken advantage of at work, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to reveal to you how your boss will use praise to manipulate you. I'm going to share some personal stories from my experience of me being used, and then I'm going to break down ways for you to start breaking that cycle so you never have to worry about being used or abused ever again. What's going on, guys? My name is Fausto Castellanos. I'm a motivational speaker, spiritual advisor, and clinical counselor. But most importantly, I'm somebody who's battled with addiction, trauma, mental health, codependency. And yes, I got taken advantage of at work for many years. And I truly believe that those who hurt the most heal the most. And there's a lot of people out there that claim to be gurus, life coaches, and healers who are hurting you more than helping you. And I'm somebody who's not only been through the pain, but I've been able to walk through it the healthy way. I went to school to get educated, and I worked with over tens of thousands of people due to a mentor of mine who allowed thousands of people a week at his house for free to find hope, to find healing, and to break the cycle of being taken advantage of. In this video, I'm going to break down how your lack of boundaries is giving your boss permission to take advantage of you quietly, and how to stop that cycle before it costs you your health, your identity, and your peace. Now, right here, I'm going to share a personal story of what I mean by that. So for me, right, I'm a recovering people pleaser. When I go into work, because I have daddy issues, I seek validation. What's going to happen is I tend to always try to be the best at what I do at work. So when my boss would see that I stood late, show up early, covered shifts, what he would do is he would praise me for it. Point it out, right? Let people know during our work meetings. And then what he would do is he would see that I was able to do extra work, right? For a position that wasn't mine. So as I'm getting praised for working harder, I felt good. And so what ends up happening is I'm doing more work, but I'm not getting paid more money. And then it gets to this point where I'm getting overwhelmed with the work, but then I don't want to let my team down because my boss keeps on pumping me up. And then what ends up happening is I voice it out. My boss says, hey, don't worry. You're only going to have to do this extra work for a little bit longer. We're bringing somebody in. Well, guess what? A little bit longer turns into a year plus. And that's what they'll do. They'll always say, don't worry, we're going to get somebody soon. And soon can mean never. And so what ends up happening is when we go above and beyond and we don't have boundaries, we get taken advantage of. If we find our validation and our identity through work, then they're going to find that and they're going to, feed that. And the reality is it's a business. They want to save money, right? So if we can do more work so they don't have to pay someone else, they're going to do it. And a lot of times people like us might have a hard time asking for a raise or walking away because, again, we don't want to let people down. Do more, go above and beyond. But the reality is if you don't have boundaries, you're going to end up losing your peace, your mental health, your physical health, and just your life. And then you're going to get resentful. And then guess what? It's not even going to be worth it at that point. And sometimes you might be too afraid to say anything. So you're just stuck in this cycle. Now, in this section right here, I'm going to talk about the 3 ways that your boss takes advantage of you so you can identify it. Number 1, they notice what you tolerate. If you never say no, they're always going to assume that you're available. So you got to remember when you create this character of the yes person, your boss is going to see that. They're going to know when they ask you, you always say yes. They're paying attention to that stuff. They know who they can ask and who they can't. We allow people to treat us the way we present ourselves. So if you never say no, then that person just knows that you always say yes. So really what they're doing is, yeah, they are taking advantage of us, but we're allowing them to because we have no boundaries. So remember what boundaries are. They're to protect you. They're instructions for others to basically read on what we do and what we don't do. Number 2, people pleasing gets marketed as a good work ethic. You are praised to be the one who never complains. But behind the scenes, you're having mental breakdowns. You're spiraling. You have low energy. You're snapping and you're unhappy. Overgiving is not sustainable. It's not actually respected. So be careful because people pleasing is not a good behavior to have. People pleasing, again, is seeking validation and acceptance. And really it's a selfish act because you're doing it because you get something out of it. But when you're a people pleaser, you're always going to put others before you. And the reality is you can't keep on giving if you're not giving to yourself. And number 3, your job will take as much as they can from you. Your job isn't designed for your well-being. Your job is designed to get results. If you don't advocate for yourself, no one will. If you're working a 9 to 5 job, have those boundaries, right? You get to work when you work, right? And when you get to the end of your day, you end your day. Yeah, maybe stay a little bit longer, you show a little bit earlier. That's cool. That's like I said, that's fine. I get it. But don't take work home with you. Don't stay extra. If you're going to be there later, make sure you're getting paid, right? They better be paying you overtime. They better be paying you for what you do more of. And I'm not saying that you should never go above and beyond and you should always half-ass it and you should always just do what is asked. What I'm saying is just be mindful, right? Be mindful if, yeah, you want to be a good worker, but you don't want to sell your soul to your job, especially if they're going to take advantage of you. It's nice when you can understand what your worth is and your time, right? Because your time, you'll never get back. You are always replaceable in their eyes. A lot of times we're so dedicated and we're so focused and we're so loyal to the wrong people. You feel guilty when taking time off. You say yes even when you're drowning. You're always the one staying late. Your boss gives you extra tasks without asking. You're praised for sacrificing your time, but you're never supported when you're burned out. And the last one, you're afraid of losing your job if you speak up. So what I just listed right there are the warning signs that in this season of your life, you're being taken advantage of at work. Now, the final piece right here is the 4 ways to break it. Number 1, start saying no without having to over-explain everything. Remember, no is a complete answer. You don't need to explain why and all that stuff, right? That's usually when the guilt kicks in or the shame kicks in and we feel like we have to defend ourselves and give the perfect reason. But sometimes you end up saying no, but the feelings that you have, guilt, shame, overthinking, spiraling, and if you let those feelings get to you, then your no is going to turn into a yes. And then you're just back in that cycle, be taken advantage of. And number 2, set clear work-life boundaries. Remember, when you get off work, you're off work. Don't answer those text messages. Don't answer those emails. Again, yes, there's a time when you maybe have to. I get it. But remember, if you're always answering your text messages and you're always answering your emails, and guess what? You're not respecting your own time, so they're not going to respect your time. Number 3, speak up. See, if you're not speaking up, then basically what you're doing is you're tolerating all this behavior and the way that they're treating you. Because if you don't speak up, then they're going to assume that you're okay with being treated like that. So voice it out. I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. Write it on paper. Hey, it's okay. It may feel uncomfortable. And maybe you're that person that wants to avoid conflict at all cost. So that's why you don't want to have those conversations. But then don't get mad if you're being taken advantage of at work. Speak up for you. Saying no is saying yes to you. So remember that. And number 4, and this one is so important. To me, I think this is the most important one. That's just my opinion. Detach your worth from how much you produce. So a lot of times we find our worth, our value, our identity from our job. And that's not good. That means that that job owns you. Without it, you're nobody. Without it, you're nothing. So now you're basically codependent on that job. You need that job. And that's not a good place to be because now you're walking in fear and not in faith and not in joy. You're walking in fear with a scarcity mindset and it owns you. Something that I learned for me that helped was I needed to find purpose outside of my job. And so you got to figure out what is that. I mean, one, I always say take care of your health physically so you feel good, right? Be responsible with money so you don't have to stay at that job if you hate it or being taken advantage of and they don't change. Go be of service. Go give back to something, whether it's the homeless, whether it's at a church, whether it's in a community, or just anything. Do something to give back, right? It's very fulfilling. Find your identity in other things and understanding that your job isn't everything that you are. There's so much more out there because the more you can detach your worth from what you produce at work, man, it's going to be so easy to set boundaries, walk away, and be free. If your boss is ever taking advantage of you or you're going through right now, leave a comment below. Let's talk about it. Let's work through it together. Let's get you out of that. Let's help you set boundaries, find your worth, maybe even get out of that 9-to-5 job and do something that you love. And if you check out my channel even more, I have more videos that maybe what you got to work on is codependency. Maybe it's some trauma. Maybe it's imposter syndrome. Maybe it's boundaries. I have all those videos on my YouTube channel that you can check out to help you grow into the best version of yourself. And in the description below, I'm going to have a link to my free ebook, How to Find Purpose in Your Pain, the 7-step process. And hey, maybe this book's going to help you find that purpose outside of work so then you can detach your value from your job.